Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you with another game of Total War Three Kingdoms. The Han is restored, thanks to the wise leadership of Yuan Shao, and Liu Xie respected, in spite of doing some spy actions every now and then. So, we are in the middle of a turn, and we need to do the siege here. We could wait for the night, but it'll be a nice big fight. And yeah, we'll siege him there. We'll be fine. This first army is not so strong. The second army is more beat up, but I believe we've upgraded them. Yeah, we've got them juiced. We've got Whitewater. We've got various other. I mean, Whitewater won't matter here. This dude doesn't have anything, I guess. We'll see. But Zheng Xiang, of course, will be able to put the whole thing on her back. And with a successful girl cheering her on. They're going to find themselves in a bad position indeed. Now there are, of course, rainy drops falling upon our head, but we don't even have fire arrows at all in this army. That's okay. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of it done anyway, and if not, the next army will probably have some, and if not, then we will charge in. If they move out here, we'll be able to intercept. But yeah, we know that this army is going to be right over here with even more troops. And if they let us get into range, then, so much the better for us. So we can just shoot our troops at, whatever. We don't need to aim at the towers. I mean, not like aiming at the tower. Aiming at the towers, we'll land among the stars. It'll be alright. Alright, this dude does have roar. That's likely to be irrelevant here. Yeah, it's gonna be bad news. It's gonna be hard times everywhere over here whenever we show up to the party. And I think they are now realizing that. They might not be. They might just be, trying to figure out who wants to get hit with artillery fire, which is just fine with me, Spending a full trebuchet shooting at some guys seems fine, If one treb takes out one unit of Protectors of Heaven and a tower and something else, that's okay. It's not going to take out the whole thing. But, it'll take out some of it. I don't think this dude or duel. That would be great, though. I would love to duel him. Alright, let's just fast forward this. Gonna take a second to get our other trebs into position. Oh, both of these towers are still up. Well, we will be able to sort it out. We'll just fight underneath them if we have to. But we should be able, even in the rain, to knock down a couple of towers. These have flaming shot at least. Alright, everyone's getting ready to party. We're thinking about getting ready to party. We don't have that much infantry, right? But we do have a huge amount of cavalry, and if we can break in, that's good. Protectors of Heaven do like to brawl. We're just gonna go ahead and get the Treb guys off. I don't think that messes with you, but you know, we don't want them here. They've done their job, so we're just gonna roll these fellows up and let them start their job. Which is to fire specifically at these towers. And hopefully hit them. You know, hopefully. We got a lot of ammo. There we go. There's one. So even in the rain, once you get to 100% fire damage, you know it's going to happen. It's just harder to stack the fire damage in the rain. But it looks like we'll be able to get it before too long. Hopefully. We'll just keep an eye out for like boiling oil, which could be anywhere. We see here that, you know, the work from our previous trebuchet still lingers. We're gonna just toss some rocks here. You know, we've come this far. Why not keep on doing the artillery barrage until we go in? You know, they're a little spread out, but that doesn't mean that we can't get a whole bunch of hits anyway. And anyway, if we wait, what's the highest upside we'll have? We'll be throwing in rocks in the middle of our own troops. Not ideal. Exactly the sort of thing you can expect, but not ideal. Look, they wanted this siege. They could have surrendered. We actually didn't ask. They never surrender. They wanted this siege. Alright. Now it's time to brawl. See, the problem is, of course, that I guess we could just walk up and get off Zheng Xiang's horse, and that'll be alright. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be ugly, right? But we're unbreakable, and we cause terror, at least with some of our troops. So, I mean, it'll be fine. Oh yeah, also we have a million crossbows. I forgot all about that. We'll be just fine. We have, like, so much range nonsense. I forgot all about them. Acting like we're out of stuff just because the Trebs are out of ammo. We're just gonna get off of the horse, though, on account of how we're gonna want to wade in here. And Successful Girl is about to go on her tantrums. Oh, this is my favorite thing in the whole mod. Oh, exploding bullets? Okay, we can't stay here. Alright, it was all fun and games for a little while. Alright, but I think there's just like a unit or two of Defenders of Earth over here. So that won't be so bad. She's just gonna wade in. Oh, and this dude wants to brawl, but like she's already on foot. He's gonna get mauled. Also, we're gonna tantrum her, which of course does add, you guessed it, fatigue. Alright, speaking of you guessed it, our guys are all standing on top of our ranged troops because we have so many of them. But our crossbows are raining in on the Defenders of Earth here. And even with pretty low accuracy, it looks like they're delivering the blows pretty well, actually, so that's good. Of course, Protectors of Heaven don't like to run, and they do like to fight. But, you know, we'll, oh, we've got... Okay, we've got the solution right here. Let's, Because Zhengxiang getting beat up. Wow, just so beat up. But we just need them to be, you know, not evasive. But if we drop this on them, we're good. And our crossbows are about to just, like, start raining in. Hopefully all in this front here. Time for another tantrum in just a couple seconds, and we'll just walk around the wall here. Need to walk out. Zhengxiang can't keep walking so far forward, right? We need everybody to engage. Everybody! No, not everybody. We gotta keep some people in reserve. We do need the main unit to fight, though. Alright. Just juice her stats entirely and get her here fighting the Raider Cavalry. She's hitting for, like, Lu Bu numbers for 30 seconds because of the tantrum. But can we actually get anywhere with it? Because really, like, she's also just bleeding HP because these are quite strong people around her. We can't go in on horseback, though. That's not a solution. But now that a lot of our crossbows are raining in, you know, maybe we just... I think if we just leave them to their own devices, that's best. Some people have pretty decent shields here, but, you know, I feel like this is a situation where trying to micro your archers might hurt you. None of them have, like, crazy high... missile block. I mean, 60% is pretty rough. But we have a lot of ammo to spend here. It's just so rough. I mean, maybe, you know, we, I try to focus fire all on one unit of Protectors of Heaven and see how that'll work. Zhengxiang is down to 10k. We can't keep her in there. Yeah, this is rough, huh? Well, you know, they had, like, an Imperial army in here, so let's see. Let's see if we can get it. Alright, can we shoot at the G infantry captains? If we charge in here, we lose our horse. Do we start charging in horses into the front? I mean, I guess. They've moved to square formation back there. Insane. If only I could punish this blob. Well, we can at least throw Wisdom of the River here, and that will give us an opportunity. Yeah, this is... Well, you know, you can't win them all. I mean, it's not over yet. I guess a lot of our ranged units are just blocked. Maybe we should be trying to fight somewhere else, right? Maybe just throwing stuff into the grinder is foolish. Oh, we got her embroiled and she lost her horse. After all that time. No, she dismounted. Shocking. Alright, it turns out that just charging in the other way is good, actually. Amazing. You know, after just a super long time in the meat grinder. Amazing. Wow, you could just, like, attack the foe. And then we'll get crossbows behind them. Wow, with the flanking maneuver. This is really pod racing. After the longest meat grinder. But I don't see, yeah, like, this blob fight in the front, they've fully dedicated themselves to it. This is like, sometimes the AI, it's just like me, right? But we're gonna hit him with the old wisdom, and that'll help, you know, the blob considerably. Because right now, you know, they'll be relatively defenseless. Not that we have anything that punchy. But, you know, now that we have cavalry running rampant on the inside, do we want to run flanking here? I don't think so. I think we just yeah, just cross here and shoot into them from behind, because they're yeah, you know, all of these bolts will hit. Maybe it won't be that dramatic, but all of them will hit. But once we get in here and take... yeah, we might as well take all of the inside here. You know, once we decided to stop just throwing it away and use the cavalry like cavalry, it worked just fine. Shocking. Because here, the massive dumb blob fight only works to benefit us, right? Because they're not going to get through. They're not really going to get through, are they? No, they won't. We have all of this nonsense here. We have unbreakable archers to throw into it, you know. There we go. And now we have the towers. And we're just going to move more of the crossbows over here. Although just with these two, like, crossbows firing into them, it might have made, like, most of the difference we needed. We're just going to keep on beating on these crossbows here and here, and then once we take the flag, we'll be able to take away that big morale bonus that they get. And they may well move to try to reinforce it, which will only benefit us, of course, as we... Oh no, successful girl is embroiled in combat. That is not the way. Let's throw some Wisdom of the River and get her out of there. So once we get this flag, I think a lot of this blob is gonna run. Actually, we can do a sick rear charge for their cavalry right now. This will be the most beautiful transition from Big Dumb Blob fight into Pit of Despair. Oh yeah, boom, baby. Oh, that's beautiful. That's just gorgeous. Of course, the Protectors of Heaven don't care. They're still pleased, but Zheng Xiang's having a party. Only 100 kills, but you know, earning all of them. Earning every single one. And importantly, you know, getting a beachhead here against Wu, we're going to be able to take advantage of this, I hope. We just need to make sure she doesn't, fall over. Well, a tragedy. In here, we'll just chase him down. And now we want to move this whole block out. So that we can shoot at him. And everything that leaves, we just beat down so that it shatters. Got another Wisdom of the River on deck, which is good, because we could sure use some wisdom now. Man, they, you know, this big block of Protectors of Heaven just makes me think of all the times I have done this to my foes, and said, man, it's a good thing I've got these big, strong, evasive, armored guys, and nothing could ever change that. Boom, baby. Alright, let's get these charges in while it counts. Armor and evasion down. And now they're gonna crumble. I think they're army lossing. At last, my victory has come along. My fighting days are over. Boom! Successful girl successfully leads us to victory. Zheng Xiang, you know, she tried. Look, Protectors of Heaven are tough for a stationary general fight. They're tough for any kind of fight. We did have crossbows, but we weren't able to, you know, we could have waited several more minutes, I guess, for the fight. But this way worked out just fine. And if we had a healthy army, then it would have been cool too. But yeah, good stuff. Secure and occupy, that gives us a big old huge replenishment boost. Zheng Xiang will be here next turn, and she'll have Tenacity of Steel from here on, and then that'll be good. And then Successful Girl is just so successful. I think that's the turn, because, yeah, we have to build siege equipment there. And, yeah, just a very, very good turn. He hates us so much. Well, it's a lot less now. Okay, he's trending towards -3. We've fought more, like, more of our proper enemies lately, I guess. Oh yeah, and Liu Xie's got this. But yeah, we'll just let them come out to us if they want, and then we'll bash them in the field. Yeah, because they're starting to retreat, and we are only now starting to get a little bit less. Yeah, that's what the decision was in the past. Good, good, good. All right, we got like 3K. We're upgrading stuff all across the land. Lots of times at this point in the campaign, I stopped spending my money on infrastructure things, but I'm trying to do better this time around with that. Mainly by spending all your money, you can later make, wait for it, more money. Got our assignments, we've got administrators everywhere, you know, we're actually doing what we're supposed to do. Now, the Emperor needs a wife, but, you know, you can't marry just anybody, you know, we just got to keep an eye out for somebody special. Hey, this guy's called a one-armed bear, we're going to get him. And Qinggong's special too. We're just recruiting everybody that could be special that ever ends up into the pool, and then we'll figure out if we want to use them. At this point, we can just pay, because our salary is considerable, but, you know, we have a lot of people that aren't doing anything. I'm like, let's get rid of some of them. Not just like all of them, but some of them. No strategist, of course. Oh wait, not you. You're in the family. It's like you're a Yuan. You stay. We don't need the Ma's. Really, we just took them to upset the other Ma's. Although they could, you know, potentially make people like us better. You know, it's just gonna save a little bit of money. They were level 1 anyway. Alright, well that barely cleaned it up. But, you know, 400 a turn is fine. Cao Cao is there, on the back foot, hopefully. Heyo! And Gongsun Zan has elected to sally forth to fight Liu Xie and her army. Well, let's see how this works for him. This is Gongsun Zan's own wife here, of course. So the plot thickens, indeed. Now they will come to us, so we're gonna let them. We're not doing what we did the last time we were on this map, which is being very careless. We'll put her on skirmish so she'll just avoid combat. And we'll accept any duel that somebody wants to do. You know, we're Liu Xie, we don't run from a fight. We do have white water, we just need to stay, you know, visible and not fighting. Got 11 units, that'll have to be enough. You know, looking at my forces here, I totally see why they thought I should attack them, but it's not going to work out for them. We're going to win. We are. You know, they're getting reinforcements, but that's fine. Do we want to charge? No, we don't have, like, perfect vigor. We'll just wait. They'll be here. I mean, we can get vigor, though, from the lady, but we're not going to. We're gonna wait. So we've got terror. These are the swords of the Emperor here. So they're highly evasive militia. These aren't like your granddaddy's militia. These have 51% evasion and 30 armor. So Gongsun Zan has a bunch of armor and no evasion, so we don't even need to Wisdom of the River him because, you guessed it, Liu Xie is carrying Giant Bane around. Don't worry, Zuchu's in the faction. Nothing happened to him. He just isn't in an army yet, you know. But if we put her over here, because it looks like the Cav want to go to this side, because we can Wisdom of the River on a charge on them. They do have some cataphracts, right? I mean, some of them, but they won't just be total pushovers. Does she have Strider? I don't think so. Yeah, she doesn't have any abilities tagged on her, so... You know, we don't want to be getting caught on the trees. We want to be getting caught out here in the front of everything. Like a lady. Of course, their multi-bolt crossbows are firing in, and we're gonna assume that they'll get nothing from it. They do have a lot of cav here, don't they? Well, Liu Xie is gonna go in on them all alone. No, that's not fair. We've got a ton of archery support, so really, she's just locking them down a little bit and intimidating them some. As the trebuchets open up. Anybody want a duel? No? Yeah? Come on, buddy. No? What you afraid of, old boy? And Liu Xie has, of course, already tuned up a couple of these things. Does anybody want to brawl? No? She's so surprised. She's just being a terror, right? Just an absolute menace. Alright, our cav needs to get out of here. Okay, they're getting on the trebs. This is not ideal, right? Not at all ideal. They don't have a lot of strength here. These are cataphracts, so even if it's, yeah, just 7, they probably can't pop the whole treb in that amount of time. And we're gonna hit a Wisdom of the River here, which, and in conjunction with that, should help. Alright, Liu Xie is all the way back here. Well, that's alright. We can crack the siege artillery. Alright, this front is composed largely of cavalry, which is not ideal at all. Need to get these guys off of ours so that we can go back to the regularly scheduled program of shooting at these chumps, and that cataphract charge is indeed entirely cleaned up. And with our cav coming in here, Saber Militia shatter. And now all of our, yes, all of our crossbows are coming back onto line. Yeah, you know, the auto resolve wasn't wrong. This is a wonky little battle, isn't it? Does this guy want a duel? Yeah. Sweet. Oh man, we're in some big trouble here. They are getting in the line. Yeah, Nature's Allies, they really book it, huh? Okay, yeah, they are. We need to get on these archers here. Liu Xie wins the duel, of course. Does anybody else want a duel? No, we probably got to get in here. You know, Gongsun Zan has now finished shooting. Oh, because that person was oath-sworn to her once again. That happened in the last time. I totally forgot, though. So, very good. Very good indeed. So now she flips out, gets juiced melee attack right at the right moment, and charges in at the foe. Liu Xie. Gongsun Zan still doesn't want a duel, but we're going to be able to push through the Archer Militia here. The Saber Militia holding together well. Those archers really shooting way too much at us there, but maybe we'll be able to get them off of us. Charge in here. At least we've got Saber Cav. You know, very small amounts of them still do all the work, right? Clean. And she's about to raise a Liu Xie. Oh yeah, there we go. Never should have come here. Because the thing is that unlike a lot of our armies, what we have left over... Alright, we need to get our captain here. He's got one model left. Can we extract it? No wonder these militia weren't running from him. It was one single model. Well, you know, she bashes in and starts laying the beat down. If we have one captain there, then we turn off the abilities of their guys. Well, you know, apparently we don't. Maybe he was under fire. But anyway. We end up coming through very clutch. You know, I don't know why I thought the auto-resolve was going to be kinder to me. Like, yeah, you know, we barely get it. But we do indeed get it. We're on foot here against him. No, we're on horseback. We have to get off of this horse right now, or we're going to... we can just walk away, right? Yeah. No, he is the one on horseback. In which case, you're locked in here with me. No one on horse ever beats someone on the ground. Oh my god, look at him dumpstered. Liu Xie, what a champion. Just hits him for like a billion, of course. 4K listed damage. All of it armor piercing with this mace. Boom, boom, boom. And he's gone. A messy battlefield too. Like, very messy. He wants us to have peace. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think we want to do that. Not at this point with you. He could have surrendered a long time ago, right? Yeah, he wouldn't do it anyway. He's too proud. Abdication for Wu's at a negative 20 right now, so we are chipping away at it. This might be the last of Yuan Shi's armies. Video title says against Wu. We've been fighting some against them. Yeah.
我等非蛮夷也，依计行事。
There we go. Yangtze is no more. Our shameful brother, now gone from the recruitment pool. Whoever ends up with him shall be my enemy. All right.
有失远迎。
Guess Liu Biao doesn't want to see things my way, and Yuan Shao will convince him of it. We're going to go right here so that we can heal. These guys will be ready to pop this Civil War faction place here, because they liked me even less than Liu Biao did. Though it's hard to believe it's all true. And the Civil War faction gone, and we're just gonna go like right here and ambush. This will be fine. Hey, actually making some money out of that commandery. That's nice to start out that way. Yellow Turban Rebellion always helps with making people like you better. We need to move down this way. It's the more rebellions we can put down, right? Which I think are actually Dongmin's rebellions here. The the more harshly we can treat them, and then the more that'll impress everybody that works for us. Hey, we finally got to neutral. All right, good stuff. I think when we were fighting like Cao Cao, there was a lot of perceived friendliness going on, and he wasn't trying to have it. Alright, we'll move her up there, and because we can keep on busting them up. They can't get over here quite yet, and we'll be able to crack Danyang like immediately. Yeah.
大义将临，莫敢不从。只有稳固发展，人们才会交口称赞。
Because now it's my river. Yeah, now it's my river, right? Like there's precious little of it back for where they used to be. We're gonna hope that Wutagu comes up here, and then we'll pop him one. That'll show him.
正在行进，每一步都充满智慧。一统山河。
Gagan, he turned against us. It was outrageous. It was unfair. We did what had to be done. Guess we'll just do forges again. I like having items, a lot of our people don't even need them, but it's nice to have them. It's funny because the dynamic for these builds for me favors like just a bunch of strategists, but you don't have any stuff for them. Like, where are all the nice coats? We don't have any prestigious coats for them. It's very sad. What if they leave me for someone who's got better clothes to wear? These are the worries that you have when you're the Emperor. Alright. Worries you don't have is, what are you going to do with all of your legitimacy? You're going to throw a party is what you're going to do. party in the south. Long, long, all the way up here in the mountains. Good for him. Hey, Luke. Silk gives that. I see. I'm like, I guess if we just build enough of these forges, we might get one. Well, you know, it was an idea. Oh. Yuan Shao's armor gives you fatigue immunity, so, you know, he also would be a wonderful pairing with Successful Girl. For any future endeavors, but of course we've got the dream team here right now. The Bandit Queen and the Successful Girl. You know, they're pretty close in age, so they can just pal around. They can have a party. They had a pretty good battle earlier. Also, hi Luke. Ah, Lady Wu is here. Indeed. Alright, so here, what's the worst they can bring? I mean, whatever they can get in a turn, like mercenary retinues or whatever. You know, we should just back off for a turn. And then we'll be healed up, and that's fine. We don't need to be too hasty, Master Meriadoc. And after that last field battle, it's still a crushing defeat? What? You're always calling King Kong because he's reserved your heart. Aw. He's just makes so much money that he makes you proud. I see, I see. Well, we're just gonna keep on sieging Gongsun Zan here. Will he surrender? Well, not until this army shows up. He might sally out again. You know. His wife just wants things to see it our way. And Liu Xie, gentle soul, is, you know, totally willing to put off burning it down a little while. Zhang He keeps rolling on in. Yuan Shao is eliminated. Liu Biao won't be too long for the world. And this side of the theater is about to be devoid of problems, right? Because once you deal with this, right, the border with Nanman is tiny compared to the amount of time that it takes to get through it, right? Like, it looks like, oh, they can get through here. It takes a long time. And up here in the mountains, you know, you get up to Hanzhong, and, like, all you gotta do is have Hanzhong and, like, the Wu Pass, and, like, they're not getting in. It takes so long. Oh, and Wudu, you know. But it takes so long for them to get from their lands where they're going to be wanting to do recruitment. Especially if you have, like, somebody. Ideally, Ma Qiao would want to peace out with us. But he's, you know, too proud. Also, like, might had something to do with the fact that we kept on busting him up and took his spear. But, you know, that's really... He was the one who wasn't acting right, so I don't see why he gets to be upset. My truly absurd amount of armies and generals. Ji keeps on doing us proud with his court nobility. Yeah, because commanders at least give you the formations, right? And some of their abilities are quite good. vanguards, yeah, you have the splash attack and the roar, but like, you know, strategist trebuchets. Time to do it again.
把我惹急了，让你们见识一下孙家的怒火。
3 times Liu Xie and
强
Gongsun
弱
Zan
悬
have
殊，
clashed.
高下立判。
And 3 times we have been victorious. And on this map each time, because, you know, we're sieging the same place.
又是一波，敌人援兵正在接近。
Indeed, Luke, indeed. No, we got 1 unit of unbreakable cav. We've got Liu Xie. Yeah, and most of this stuff is gonna fold like a wet paper bag, which is to say it'll tear in the middle. Look at his towers, he's just gonna leave them behind. Because we're smart. And we'll hit him with the old burn down the forest move. We'll just hang out here in the brush. That way we'll spot them when they're coming through the trees. They won't suspect a thing. You want to brawl? Yeah, let's go, buddy. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. A fight amongst the trees. Alright, let's use the abilities real quick and then get back in here. Oh no, he knocked me down. What'll Liu Xie do now? Oh, how about beat the brakes off him? Oh yeah, there we go. Come on, one more time, baby. Choked out, choked out, choked out. You know, he fought well.
敌将受首，贼众溃不成军。
We get basically all the HP back, and you know, it's about sending a message. And if Gongsun Zan wants to brawl, you want to duel, old man? No? Oh, you want to try to shoot me with it with a bow and arrow? Oh, too bad I just hit you for 5 freaking thousand. Get wrecked. And now he's gone. And of course that gives Hu Jinting a heal because she's like, oh no, my husband, how could this happen? Look, he should have given up. He just should have given up. We gave him plenty of opportunities to surrender. And he only has like 500 health, so we're just gonna hit him.
敌将受
Yeah,
伤，
there we go.
贼众溃不
And there we
成
go.
军。
Now they're leaderless. I don't think that really debuffs them very much. But you know, they're not gonna be happy about it, I can tell you that. My favorite units to use so far across ignoring coverage. I mean, yeah, I mean, an elephant charge is just so wonderful, right? And then, I mean, like, Followers of the Flame, I really liked. I liked having, like, a shock unit that had a really great combat potential, right? Because their debuff was so strong. You know, I like to have, like, one of them in an army, and then, like, you could really tell when they were in a blob. Like, you could just melt everything they were around. But elephants, when you finally remember that you have them and you just run all the way through a line, like, it's so cool. There's nothing cooler than war elephants. Everybody knows that. It was so hard to choose anything that wasn't Persia in Age of Empires 2. But I loved my Byzantines, and of course, I loved my Mangudai and the Mongolians. And they're walking through a burning forest now. They're not super happy about this, but they are. They're kind of in general disarray here. But Professor Chaos is in the trees, and she's gonna get ready for him again. Like, are these guys... Like, well, what's going on with them, you know? Shen Royal Guard, you know, I haven't played with them. We've gotten, like, one person that had them with them, but we never played Liu Chong yet. Love the idea of having more crossbows than rebels. Yeah, the Imperial Palace Cavalry, though, like, man, they're so strong, but just having an evasive crossbow unit, the fact that they're also totally fine in a stand-up fight, but, like, they just, if it's not against, like, a Yu crossbow and the only one, you know, with shields, any other ranged unit, they're just so good because they can, you know, they can flank and then they can stand up with most things that get sent to them. Alright, and now they're finally coming out. Of course, Liu Xie already did a little bit of work here. There we go, and now look at them. Look at all of them fall down now that they have, you know, reached my firing lines. Isn't it glorious? Never should have come here.
敌军士兵正在溃逃。
10 Peacekeeper. Yeah, because that's like what I was thinking. Like, that would be, that sounds like right up my alley, because obviously the Imperial units are among the best in the game. They have the replenishment issue, and you get them later, you know, and they're so very strong. But something that fills that niche, but, you know, because I haven't played with Gongsun Zan's faction, because, like, the White Horse fellows seem really cool. Fighting against them is just nightmarish, right? Because you no sooner do you pin them down finally with cavalry than you find that you're losing the cavalry engagement, and you're like, wait, what am I even doing here? Hung Min, you are beautiful as well as clumsy. You're suspicious as well as one-eyed. And your rival is Gongsun Zan. Join us. You suspicious, beautiful, clumsy mess.
杀！
这对双方都有好处。算了，继续吧。
All right. To battle. Here we have another classic. Of course, they'll probably... Catch him in March or get him shooting the bad targets. Yeah, it's they are frustrating, but you know that's it's very realistic, isn't it? What's more realistic than having a bunch of troops that you think are good and then getting shot to absolute pieces by a bunch of horse archers that you just can't catch? And you're like, but what about my tactics? What about my armor? What about my military tradition? And they're like, oh yeah, what about it? Alright, it looks like they're coming all from that angle. Alright. Go ahead and reform. Yeah, like, you know, with this charge negate thing, like that'd be pretty good for filling in the gaps here. And then we've got our little isn't this just perfect? This is the dream, right, man? I'm so glad I got this game. Glad you recommended it to me too. You know, I thought about it, but a lot of times, you know, it's like anything else, you know. You think about something, but then somebody will just be like, hey, have you ever listened to X or Y? And I'm like, huh, have I? And sometimes I resent them. I'm like, no, I wanted to listen to that later. I didn't want to be recommended it. But often I'll respond positively all the same. Cav into position. We've got these fools are holding their cavalry in reserve. You know, that's smart. Because it'll, you know, stop me from running over them, but it won't. It won't, though. And of course, our guys have 100 million armor, 118 morale on the Vanguard Spears. So they're not unbreakable. They're slightly better than unbreakable. Oh, and their next army is running up bravely behind. You can tell that they really wanted to have this fight. Alright, we crack those archers. We'll get in here and here. Make our own best shoot forces across the world. It's like, why even have cavalry? You know, you gotta have the cavalry, but why even have cavalry? Just more of this, you know, more crossbows. A couple more trebs, maybe. That's like, you really feel the lack of a smasher hero, you know, but I guess, you know, it's very cool that the faction plays differently, but I guess, like, I just got so accustomed to the setup of, you know, one guy that, or two that smashes as a leader, and then, oh, we ran into their spears. I thought it would be okay. It's not okay. But here it's like, you know, he hits things hard. You know, we gave him some good swords, but, you know, like, where are the duelists? You know. But sometimes you just have to make do without. With your amazing armies that are super efficient. And we're just whitewatering them up. We've got our Xian cavalry captain in reserve, being the most important thing he can be, patient. I guess the melee charge bonus isn't bad either, right? You know, it's worth a lot. Makes the crossbows into, I mean, respectable 98 charge bonus. Yeah. Yeah. Can't really argue with that. You could be like, I don't think that's the right number, but it is. Now he can go to beat the brakes off of these guys, because of course, on foot, he's the equal of like 10 horseback generals. Oh, they're not on horseback. Well, you know, he's still their equal. Liu Biao, who has the White Tiger's claws, what a champion, you know. We're still going to take him out. After all, he is embroiled in my guys. And Liu Li, his son probably, in any case a relative, is now very mad, but we're just going to keep on trucking on him. He's got other stuff to worry about, right? And we will use the tried and true method of getting the enemy surrounded with infantry and then charging in. Lady Tsai wants to duel me. No, we're alright. We're doing okay beating the brakes off of them here. They've moved into turtle. Let's not shoot the turtles. And it's like, after he's half dead, 2/3 dead, now they want to duel him. Gah. Pathetic.
国手听命，士兵列阵，挺住，不要留情。时时已尽，拔剑杀敌。
Oh yeah, he doesn't have the armor. That's right. Yeah, 70%. Oh yeah, because commander armor, depending on what kind of commander you are, they might give you 15. You know, they might give you 70, and we got 70. And the Yubiaos look a lot more like robes, so they do. Clean. I mean, relatively. It could have been better. It went fine. I consider it a win. The game's gonna consider it a win too. It's gonna say you won. You'll see. Oh wait, no. We gotta remember the whitewater. Got to remember the whitewater. Do we? Hamstring. Nah, we don't have to remember the whitewater. None of these abilities matter anymore. It's all going to be like ranged block chance, and our ranged units are just about out of ammo anyway. Probably going to army loss fairly soon here. I bet our towers are just being champions also. Amazing. That old distant courage. It sure works.
一统天下，随我来。一统天下。
Look at Liu Xie with the mace. Oh, it's just wonderful. And we capture it, I guess, after our defeat there. They had nothing left to do except get rolled up.
行则同进，战则同跑。那就快点吧。
Why don't you just work for me?
进岗。旅途结束，不行，此行必有恶果。进岗。
Like, we can keep on... Can we catch him? Yeah! She's done such a great job. Yeah, I think that was the third time we had fought the garrison. It's like we fought it, I think we fought it one time, and then a person in it died in the fight, and then Gongsun Zan took over their retinue, basically, pushed in there. Zhang Fei, What are you doing working for him? I mean, we picked up Zhu Shu from their faction, though, so, you know. People are really getting around.
正在行进，鼠目寸光，必致灾祸。天命在此。天数有变，纪律不行。
Wait, I lost?
壮志熊熊。
I have got to start looking at that screen. Yeah. Anyway. I thought it told me I was winning. It'll be alright. I don't actually think they can chase me. Yeah, we'd be able to run away, probably. Probably.
整装待发。拿起武器。
静下心来，迅速出击。
You can just repeat it on. Yep.
思维迅捷，则可避其锋芒。他们对天下
And
毫
some
无
nice
裨益可
Nanmen
平定天
to
下，
treat poorly, making my vassals like me.
遇事三思，其志可现。
They're like, wow, that was really harsh. What a good guy.
三思而后行。一往无前，原地候命，正在行进。
拿起武器。难以达成。
正在行进，真小儿之见也。
So it's so beneficially holding on. Exactly. Because, like, why do I need to be mean to any of the generals here? Like, why should anybody want me to do that when I might recruit them later? Like, don't they understand what a predicament they're putting me into? Don't they care? Oh, they have made a series of choices.
拿起武器。
And been caught out. But, you know, once we caught Cao Cao out on the water, his days were numbered, you know. He's lucky he survived this long here in the middle of our lands, but of course it really messes his forces up to have done it. You have mentioned it before, you confederate Minglu if you capture and release him 7 times. Like Zhuge Liang does in Romance. Right? Right? Hey, Lu Xun, you're brilliant! Brilliant! Oh, here's a guy who deserves an army.
匡扶天下，我等非蛮夷也。吾等需要精兵良将。
As hard as it sounds. Yeah, you know, I guess if you're playing as, like, you know, Liu Yan, you might have a chance to do it. But it seems like if you fought him that many times, you'd weaken his faction so much that the other non-men would just swallow him up, right? One of those where maybe you'll get it eventually. Alright, so these forces are totally toasted, but do we have anybody to get them here if they move further in? Well, they're in the middle of everything. Well, we'll just raise an army here then. With one of our amazing Pokemon. Chengong, gotta rule 'em all.
一统天下。
And then we can give him trebuchets, and then in like a million years, if he gets too old, maybe. Oh, he's not even level 3. We can give him crossbows. Another army never hurts. It's only really possible after Menghuo unifies Nemen, and then if he's high enough level, the capture chance gets slow. Yeah. And you can't, like... There's no, like, spies stuff to it. Like, I guess you could, like, try to stack abilities of whatever kind, but that'll only get you as far as it can. As far as it can. Alright, we've got all of this here and all of that there. Everything is there and there and there. Alright. Beautiful. Wunderbar. And every single person has a northern retinue because that's where we're at now. Negative 17. Sounds like you might. Lady Wu, the accommodating diplomat, is now seeing things might want to be better my way. Oh. And we have a big old fight. We have a healing army here. We've got 3 units of Protectors of Heaven. They have so many of them. Do we retreat? Well, I mean, no, we don't retreat because we just take the battle, and then if we lose it, then we retreat. And anyway, why would we lose it? We, just because a couple of our armies are super beat up and they got like a ton of Protectors of Heaven. This is an open map, which means we can deploy in a way where we'll actually be able to shoot our crossbows the whole time. These are just regular crossbows, but they'll still do work over a course of a long match. There was a siege earlier where we got in a massive blob fight and we couldn't really solve the problem until we flanked them. But now I'm like, we have room to maneuver here. We'll be fine. Yeah, but we'll have Wisdom of the River, and, you know, you got Wisdom of the River, and then, you know, the archers will do a little bit more, but they run out of ammo quick. And, of course, we got successful Kurl and Zhengxiang here, and they're gonna have a party. Oh, they don't have Strider. Huh. Shouldn't be in the trees then. Alright, here we go. Here's the showdown with Wu we're all waiting for. Give me my seal, Lady Wu, if that is your real name. Oh, I know that they often did not record the names of women. These eras, you get like sort of a lady and then the family name thing, or very rare that you get, you know, the names of a bunch of people. If memory serves, there's just like a handful actually written down in romance at all. Steal that bow from your sister? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you did. You ought to be ashamed. You want to duel? Yeah! He does want to duel. He's a very brave boy. You gotta give it to him. And then you gotta take it away. When we hit him with the lament, Wisdom of the River 1, 2, 3. You know, he's going to be doing alright for a second here, but we got Tenacity of Steel now. This is going to kick into overdrive in a way he does not anticipate. Man, he's actually almost winning, huh? Maybe he is going to win. Jeez. I don't mean that. We have to win. Man, oh man, did he do a lot of work, though. Wow. And then, oh, great. Now she gets knocked over by Lady Wu on her way back to her horse. We're gonna get stuck. We're gonna get stuck. No, get on the horse. Get on the horse, Sheng Xiang, please get on the horse. Yeah, they both have Wisdom of the River. We just need to make sure they don't get to use it. These protectors will never expect a frontal charge by the lady herself right down the hill, right? Please run. she get on horse? Yes. Well, we need to get her on these guys then. Ay, ay, ay. Well, at least we got a lot of ammo in the crossbows. Let's get the infantry, the cavalry. We accept a duel because that'll give her HP once we win, and we figure we'll win because otherwise the alternative is horrifying. We hit it with the wisdom, which is actually going to be really nice here overall, and then with a little bit of a tantrum. I just wish Damsel were here. We very cleanly win the fight and get a huge boost in HP because that one actually went quick. But we still have Treb ammo somehow, which is awesome. And here now they have basically given a whole flank to our crossbow shots. And Lady Wu is fighting a whole bunch of spears. Good for her. Good, good, good. Roll around back there. Just still got so much ammo. I mean, you know, some ammo. Look, the crossbows aren't even out of ammo yet. That's how good crossbows are in a 10-minute fight. You know, I don't think the fight went on for 10 minutes. It went on for a little bit. But, you know, they shoot slow, but that isn't so bad if the fight goes on a long time, you know. Would you rather him do less damage and be out of ammo really quick like a slinger? I wouldn't. Let's get on Lady Wu here. She's got my stuff. Clean.
智取胜于强攻。匡扶天下。
Alright, hit the old quick save. Okay, now we have... No, we're just gonna back out here, right? Yeah, this is so many armies. I mean, 2 of them are very beat up, but we don't have... You know, these crossbows don't have that much ammo. Could we do it? Well, Zhongfei's already super beat up. Yeah, this isn't even including the garrison. This is just 3 guys. The 4 guys that are all right there.
这次是我们冲过头了。
Yeah. Spreading them out a little bit, I think, is beneficial.
永不退缩。
全军出击，心怀荣耀，吾等大业，天意
And
所
the time
归。
has finally come to move up and take Hongcheng after all these years. Speaking of the time,
天下庶几可定。不，保持原样，心怀荣耀。
second for bottom was the garrison. And that would have been like the administrator. I see.
根基强健，方可步步高升。
He's got his cataphracts, you know. He's got his juggernauts. Sure he does. Alright, Dongmin is now happy that we are recruiting from Wu and bashing on the Nanmen. And Liu Yao is feeling okay about things too. Good deal. The negative 50 from Cao Cao was wearing away. That's today's best artillery. Yeah, well, we're gonna have 2 stacks when we roll in on it.
我只怕辜负天下之人。
And Yangtze, faithful child of the family, is up there to execute the will of the Emperor. Hey, Liu Zhong! Join us, why don't ya? But you can just hang out for a while. After all, he's the heir. So, we might be able to do something cool, right? Or he might be the heir. Should be nice if Keaton got Confederate like usual. Oh yeah, that would be. That would solve the problem quite nicely.
法令必行。静下心来，稍事休息，齐心杀敌，一匡天下。
He starts falling down and throws his spear, and then he falls even harder right after. Zhang Fei, I release you again. Join me someday. Liao Ying, you have a long list of things. We, of course, eliminated his faction in the past. I don't believe him when he says he's going to take vengeance. I don't think he can. I don't think he's got it.
进攻！尽情厮杀！烈火燎原！开战！诸位举杯相庆吧！
The old Bastion Artillery. Yeah, it's a lot of dudes.
向前进军。
Yeah, well, he brought them together to try to fight Gongsun, and then we just didn't give him battle, and then, yeah, blundered him on the split.
有何提议？
And he wouldn't even accept peace even now. Oh, he's got lands all the way over here, yeah. Well, it sure would be nice for Liu Xie to confederate him.
快去！ 击垮敌军！
And a little bit more Nen and stab it'll make everybody so happy.
方可取胜。
Do you have elephants? You don't.
吾非欲杀之，是刀兵，赐他们死个痛快，平定天下。此地人口众多。
Couple more fights like that, and everybody will love me.
心如止水，气聚神凝。立马出击！
We do this because rolling up these two armies is going to eliminate him from the field, and we know that was like where Lady Wu and Sun Ren were, so we might get another chance to capture them or take their stuff. Liu Xie, you are the Go Master, I think. We will release you.
放了吧，无法为我军所用。行事谨慎，可称机敏。怒吼吧，开战！淹没敌军，迅速出击！
Alright, because we're so beat up. We can march here and be fairly confident that they don't have anything that's going to be able to get here, right? We know where most of their armies are. We just tuned up two of them very heavily. So that should be fine here. Rolling up the copper mine. Do we... yeah. Secure it and occupy it. Of course, that'll stop this army from replenishing for a turn, but it gets us the tempo we needed. And now we continue running on here. Oh yeah, look at them. Trying to flee through our lands. Lady Beyond can't run fast enough into Fulinting, who once took the Emperor's seat of Liu Xie. A Vlad von Carson.
我军智略，胜敌军一筹。
The Vladwad. You just get 9 of your heroes in 1 gate.
匡扶天下。
正在行进。
We're gonna jump on the water and then jump out of the water here and fight him. Yeah! He was in March. Alright, well, time to fight. Like, well, we caught him alright. Well, we don't have terror, but we have, you know, unbreakable and stuff. Of course, there is Xiahou Dun here and Xiahou Yuan, who both are gonna be a little tough nuts to crack, but we'll just try to get them into spears and stab them repeatedly, right? You know, do like you do for anybody else. Where says I'll me these armies from? I don't know. I would have sworn that he couldn't have had more than like 2 places left. But maybe he's got like a lot. Like, why did Wu get to declare if he had this much strength? Or is it based on current strength and not like overall like prestige? It just seems like he would have had more. don't have Whitewater. They don't have Roar, though. Yeah, it's just his Blazing Saddles, Things, and Hamstring, so he lucked out there. And he's just got his Forest Spotting that hurts himself move. Just unambiguously worse than the good move that the other guy has. Alright, they've got heavy cav, of course, and we don't. But we have crossbows. Can we keep them off of them? These are questions. That at least hit pretty good. There we go. We keep him off a little bit. Because as we refuse to give the flank here and move up our own ranged into a flanking position, that only helps us, right? Boom! Look at that. That's a lot of damage. We just want to get on this blob here now. And they charge in onto braced spears. Feels bad for them. And those mounted Lancer militia can't put up with it. You know, they say, what, you want me to do what? Alright, those guys haven't been too happy with the trip so far. Let's get some on the crossbows here and some on the crossbows there. And here they go right into the fire, clean as anything. Oh, they stuck in on me with these cav. Oh, those were the ones that were fighting over there. They just got away. We're gonna get the spears on here. Charge into those halberds. Countercharge spears into these heavy cav that hopefully won't be able to get away. And they'll get slowly stabbed. Just very slowly stabbed. Oh man, these Lancer militia totally rampaging through the trebuchets, getting entirely off of the place they wanted to be. These halberds, of course, they have to buy our blood and all that nonsense, so, you know, it's not like they even break that early. I say that as I have my unbreakable forces, all that nonsense. I'm like, how could anybody except me have these abilities? It's outrageous. It's unfair. And we'll just run away from him, right? Like, we don't need to fight him. And in fact, we don't even want to fight him. We want him to fight somebody else. And he can 100% die mad about it. He's still got both of his eyes, so that's pretty good by Xiahou Duan standards. Normally, he is a little bit more bandaged in the face by this point in his life. But we end up pretty nicely taking care of it. Of course, when your guys won't run, it's a little easier to get a nice result. And of course, their generals, the hardest nut to crack, but you know, just leave them for last. Get them tar pitted on our very good tar pits. You know, these are tar pits that at least do some AP, these Northern Spear Guards. Not a lot, but they do some. He just, you know, he's very tired. He doesn't want to be having this fight, and we come in and hit him for like 500. Yeah, that'll show him. If we get off of our horse, it actually might. Oh no, he's off of his horse. Well, you know, all the more reason to get off of ours, right? That'll make him feel like we're very brave. And that's another thing. We wouldn't have gotten our bonus first cavalry because he wasn't cavalry, but he's not even paying attention to our strategist, so we're just stabbing him here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that sick dodge. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Yeah, there we go. We win. Maybe it's got banked a lot. Yeah, maybe. Like Cao Pi's millions. Yeah, that was, you know, he had a lot of money there. But we have been, it's been many seasons since he would have had a victory, so he's been having to replenish armies. He's been losing, you know, he lost a lot of cities earlier, so, you know, he's still making it work. We release the Xiahou brothers and roll up Cao Pi there pretty handily, keeping our troops decently well, and then this will no doubt affect enemies, not friends, which is a nice armor speed melee evasion debuff. So yeah, I mean, plus a cooldown, so yeah, and then he's got the poisoned drink for like basically a one-shot. And that pushed Cao Pi within range of Xian, so she is going to go and pop him there. Because yeah, even down here, I haven't seen any of Cao Cao's lands, so like, literally where, right? But he should have thrown in his lot with me. We would have just let him join like the military alliance. We wouldn't have forced him to get vassalized or anything.
放了吧，无法，我等非蛮夷也。为了天下大业。
冲啊！一统天下。
Like yeah, we'll just roll there.
挽弓预设。
The wildest thing to me is that all of these Han lands are still intact. Like, that is just crazy to me. It's too bad it's outside this program to turn on you, the player. Yeah. Sometimes even if you're peaceful with them and like friends, he'll do a scheme on you, I've noticed. I'm like, you know, that's what I would do, but... We just have like a zound of food, so we're gonna start building up cities across the empire. Will that lead to problems? Who knows? It'll be fine though. Will it lead to benefits? Who knows? It'll be fine though, because we have so very much. Oh, 244. Huh. I'm like, you know, it doesn't take too much to spend all of our money, even when we're making 18k a turn. Like, we can just get her because it's free. And then next turn, I'm like, oh right, we recruited up there. Of course we did. Bastion artillery there, yeah. Don't wanna mess with that. Especially in this army without any artillery at all. Alright, so how about... Because if you just work for me... You're an accommodating diplomat. Let's accommodate, right? How about you have this thick leather hide and this noble's leather... This very nice horse. And then I'll offer you some food. Yeah, how about that? And then we can stop these fights. I'm sure you can see things my way. Huzzah! We've turned an enemy into a friend. Sure, they were at the very end of their rope there, but hey, sometimes... That's what you gotta do. Alright, when you're up here far, so we got negative 20 morale, probably for the whole faction. Maybe not. Overly negative again. Alright, so... Yeah, it looks like they've got Hong Nong there and nowhere else, but that's okay. Yeah, see, look how happy they are now. And I would rather have another vassal than not. So there we go. And then we roll up Liu Biao, that old dog.
所归也。壮志熊熊。
He gets to level 8. Hey, ignore forest penalties. That'll be good.
我军天威便是如此。进攻！迅速出击！拿起武器！
These numbmen just trying to get into the cookie jar, just trying to charge in, you know. And a normal day that would work.
正义必胜，我等应设宴庆贺。满怀信念，奋力一战。
But at least we follow them around the bend in the river for the free movement from the consolidate. So at least there's that. Which does allow us to catch them even if it puts us a little annoyingly out of position and put them a little annoyingly out of position. So, little executor. We're going to be so popular with all of our friends.
很高兴见到足下。
一统天下。天命在我，谁敢不服？欲成大业，必先有立足之地。
快快攻击！
Like, where's she run to there? There? Really? There? That seems fair.
到此为止了。又是你这厮！
Like, we're calling our vessel storms against Yuan Shao. This has gone on long enough. Plus, if we have more of us, maybe we can convince him to get vassalized. No, it won't work. Yet.
欢迎，请进。地狱取胜，非为奇策良谋，亦需精兵猛将。 那就快点吧。
三思而后行。正在行进。淹没敌军。
正在行军。正在行进。
拿起武器，心如止水，气聚神明。
释放怒火吧！ 我等信念如一，
Woo,
这便是
was
上
not
天的
rich
恩赐。
before this started, and they're
只有稳固发
less
展，
now.
人们才会交口称赞。
We've taken some pretty choice lands off of them.
不露声色。我巴不得你快点说完。
They're just a -2 to abdicate. That's so close. Like, if we just take, like, one more thing, we might be able to get it out of them.
保存体力，行事谨慎，可称机敏。
Yeah, they have vanishingly little left, right? I mean, they probably have, what, like, 8 or 9 total places. So yeah, she's broke, got no food, got no jobs. Wound Hongzhong, no. Reroll one of his personalities. Oh, actually, if we slow Cao Cao down, this'll be fun. He won't be able to get away. Wahahaha. How you like those scheme apples? Applesauce. Alright, did losing that one place change the way she felt? No. It'll have to be a military event.
出发！
此乃天意，冲啊！
Like I almost walked away from my healing. Anyway, looks like we'll be rolling this up soon enough. With our 20 armies or whatever. Oh, we don't have the building for that. That's funny. Totally don't need to do any of this, but we're doing it anyway. We are administering to the Empire. Maybe we'll get this abdication next turn. Oh. She's related to us just like you. Liu Bei, of course, still bankrupt. Which makes sense, you know, he doesn't have very many opportunities to make money. And here, we catch them in ambush. Well, like in Warhammer, I think they can get away a little bit from an ambush. Of course we will defend you against looters. Oh, he's like straight gonna lose his lands up there. Well, at least he's got a little bit over here. Poor Liu Bei, reduced to a rump state. Run all the way across the world from where he used to be. This has never happened to him before. And with our reinforcing army, we make clean work of Gongsun Zan, who I think still has one more place. Nope, there we go. At last. 211, probably the turn that we're going to confederate. Woo, the path to glory is achieved. Gongsun Zan is no more. And we have also achieved this Yangtze's the Black Mountains path to glory. And, of course, then it wants me to destroy Liu Bei, which we're not going to do. Alright, so we recall her, and then we're going to... Yes, Li Xie will bring the swords of the Emperor home in glory. That way... Oh. Where are the swords of the Emperor? Do they lose their name? Do they lose their name whenever we change the person who's in the army? Maybe. Yeah, because it's definitely them. Well, you know, we can rename them again. They didn't lose their level. Because this is the retinue that rescued the man himself. And Li Xie will escort them home to the capital in honor, while Liu Xie gets redeployed elsewhere. Unless Wu wants to give up. It's just a -3. Might be able to get a battle or two and dissuade him this turn, and if not this turn, then perhaps the next. Ambush there, move further this way and this way. Oh, beautiful, is it not? Now that's what I call China. Sure, there's some problems over here with the horsemen of the steppes, but when are there not? And the tribesmen of the jungles, but when are there not? 0.1 away.
马上攻击！
Oh, he can just come all the way down there.
山岳之贵，无需珠帘；山岳之尊，何用加冕？静以养神。原地候命。
心则同进。
All right. Yep. Well, that should be all that she wrote there. She walks right into the ambush. And I think after all this time, our enemies are going to start seeing some reason, right?
成地利之变。暂且。
Retreat. The garrison won't be able to get to where we go, so we should be fine there. Normally we've done that fight, but we are like... This is the end of the campaign, I think, right here. I think we're rolling it up right now. Alright, yeah, so... It says, even though I have gotten all the seats, I still am supposed to get some more, but I didn't... Oh, I failed the mission to do the seats in time. Okay. I guess you have 25 turns to do it or whatever, but it's like, hey, even though you didn't do it, you still have 105 things, which is enough. Is she gonna abdicate right now? She's gonna abdicate right now. Well, in that case, I give you the Emperor Xian.
所谓命运，皆由兵刃和鲜血所写。
Courtesy of my man Yuan
诸
Shao.
侯包藏乱心
It's yellow，
天
flag
下不
fluttering in the
堪
breeze.
再受其乱。袁绍
What a
坚
guy.
强不屈，数次挽天下于危亡。袁氏之龙腾飞升天，自应其名。其所承负的，便是天命。所谓天下大事，分久必合。
What a fun
天
campaign.
子知
It
成
gets so
天命，
busted.
顺天而治。
But that's fun too.
圣朝厚德，国祚永延。
It feels like being a rich warlord, you know? It very well simulates that. There's no longer a kingdom of Wu. It is all just Han. Alright, so in conclusion, Cao Cao was pumping all of those armies from one salt mine.
欢迎。
Maybe he has a little bit there too. But yeah. Because the Wu had that. That's insane. Well, you know what that means. It's time for a beautiful wedding. And she asked the Emperor to marry her. Just like always. There we go. The capstone to every campaign. well, there we have it. You know, Cao Cao is still being annoying, but yeah, we win. We've taken over all of China. Most of it.
欢迎朋友。
Yeah, I'm like, and he'll probably, yeah, immediately go for the vassalization, of course, because now that there's no other person to be the emperor, who could they even side with, right?
如此甚善。即便无奈屈从，我等仍会团结一致。
The Han Empire holdings had 339k. That's how long they've been in it. They held on to all of this land this whole time. But there you have it. Peace throughout the land. Vassals all around.
心服口服。
快点！
You're defied. No point. Yep. See, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And we even, yeah, with a big, yeah, the guarantee of autonomy to Cao Cao was worth 20 points there. I guess, you know, he just needed the agreement. Boom, baby.
算是新的开始吧。
Revassalize Cao Cao.
那就快点吧。
And of course, each of these makes it easier to do to the next one. And now the world is as it should be, right?
我们再听。
So we have so much food. And money.
吾等似水漂泊，需有人指引。
And now we've more than claimed to have restored the Han. We've recreated it. That is perfection. Alright, Cao Cao had 1 rice paddy and 1 salt mine, and that is what he was pushing those armies out of. But I guess he had money stacked, yeah. But anyway, once again. A great time. Alright, Liu Biao, we haven't sorted him out.
欢迎，请进。
He still doesn't even want to do it, yeah.
必欲取胜，非为奇策良谋，亦需精兵猛将。有必要吗？
I mean, theoretically, there could be, you know, more turns in it. But I mean, look at the map. Look at it. Look at the army count. It's 25 armies. Beautiful. And there's the first very hard campaign. Very hard, very hard. Do I think I'm good enough to play on very hard? Maybe not. This faction has busted mechanics. But it also has what I would consider a reasonably challenging start position. Certainly it's easy to blunder it, but... yeah, we win. You know, we vassalized everyone. The Emperor and Sun Ren got married, like always.
这是你最后的机会了。你我言语轻快如流。
And peace, you know, reigns throughout the land. Oh, and right there, the peace happened, and then Liu Bei confederated him clean.
有话快说。无礼。 有必要吗？吾等已是秣马厉兵。
很荣幸再相见。无礼。
我还以为你死了。你这是引火上身，小心点。
Oh yeah, we can't end. The Emperor doesn't have a seal.
“这可是天下大计。” 贪得无厌，真是可恶！我等诚心提出此意。
Is it crashing on me right now? I think it is. Well, anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. There you go. Sometimes the game just tells me goodnight, right? Pretty annoying stuff, but that was the end of the campaign anyway. We were just sort of rolling it up. The Emperor will have to do without his seal this time. But good night, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed. Maybe I'll see you in another stream or video later, Luke. Probably spool up another campaign tomorrow. It's hard to say. I can't tell the future. And if I could, I would deceive you about it. So, good night, everybody.